Right, there's a video for a Honda Civic. This is a 1.8 EX petrol, new shape manual car. Car's finished in white, as you can see here, and is in absolutely superb condition. Sorry, a bit blowy today, so I hope you can hear this nice and clearly. But really good looking car. All the lenses on the front there, absolutely perfect. There's no marks, cracks, damage to those at all. Bonnet itself has only got tiniest amount of stone chipping. It's in very good condition actually. Offside of the vehicle, really clean and crisp. No indentations, no car parking dinks. Front wing unmarked, front alloy unmarked, and a brand new tyre on the front. There's two pair of new tyres on the front actually, which they were done as soon as the car came in. Mirror housing, all absolutely spot on. All the panel work down this side, absolutely superb condition. It really is. Rear wheel alloy unmarked again. Tyres got tons and tons of tread on it. Coming around the back of the car, rear bumper on this side again. There's no marks I can see at all around there. Coming around as well, again equally, nothing all the way on that bumper whatsoever. Near side of the vehicle again, pretty much mirror smooth. This is a beautiful example. Rear tyre again, loads of tread and alloy. Can't see a mark on there anywhere. Panel work down the near side here, every bit as good as the near side, the offside rather. Again, I can't really see a mark anywhere on there. Finally, near side front wheel, again alloy unmarked, and another new tyre on there to match the other side on the front. So looking at basically a car that's in absolutely super condition. So coming into the boot area of the car now, parcel shelf is all good and intact. You can see down there you've got the inflation kit and pump in its a separate pouch there, again all intact as well. Fabrics, plastics in the back here, absolutely superb condition. The only one little mark on one piece of plastic that I could see, which was just up there, but it is very minor where someone's just caught something, but the fabrics absolutely super. Right, so coming to the back of the car now, rear door card on the near side here, offside rather, unmarked. Back of the seats at the front there, all the plastics all in lovely condition. Again, not always the case. You find kids have been sort of scraping feet on the back and damaging plastics, but all really good. Car benefits from a full set of mats, as you can see there. This also shows the seats up in their vertical position. This forms the magic seats, as they call it. They pop up literally in seconds with one hand. It's just a really simple and clever system. To drop them down, literally just pull the lever up, pop it down, oops a daisy, and exactly the same on that side there. And there you can see the leatherwork in the back here is in absolutely beautiful condition, as is the rest of the car. Coming to the front of the car now, driver's door card, absolutely beautiful again. It's sort of a ongoing theme really. Sill area all super. Driver's seat, bolsters, everything exactly as you want to see. Very comfortable seats, but the leather work is really good, and likewise passenger seat on this side, equally good. Right, so I'm inside the car. Just going to get the handbrake off actually. Just inside the car, passenger door card, absolutely super there. I'm just going to pan down there, show you've got the full owner's manual pack and lock and wheel nut key with the vehicle as well. Coming across, dashboard is in absolutely beautiful condition, as you know, it really is. This is a fabulous example. EX specs, so you've got this lovely big crystal clear sat nav system. When I pop it into reverse there, hopefully you can see a lovely crystal clear rear parking camera with little diagram there to sort of keep you nice and straight as well. Coming down, dead simple, easy to use climate control system, dual zone, so side to side, and heated seats on there. They all work absolutely perfectly on the car. Really, it's you know, all in lovely order. 6-speed gearbox lever. Just go up here. Just going to show you mileage currently in the car, 69,744 miles. But my favourite part of the dashboard really is this two-tier dashboard. I mean, it's a really lovely, clever design, but everything's working absolutely beautifully on it. No warning lights at all on the car, just low fuel there. And then you've got auto lights, auto wipers, and your multifunction steering wheel. So on the left hand side, controls for the audio system and information display, and on the right hand side your cruise control functions, and just down in there obviously hands-free functions as well, but all working absolutely beautifully. It really is in really lovely order. Right, so just finished this walk around video with a look at the engine bay, all in beautiful condition, really nicely laid out. Worth pointing out, the engines always sound a lot noisier on the video than they are or do when you stood here, but the Honda VTEC engine, tough, really tough, incredibly economical, virtually diesel economy out of these things, and just the most reliable engine in its class by a country mile. What should follow now should be a short road test of this very car. Right, this is the road test for a Honda Civic. This is a 1.8 EX car. Car is registered WN12OOU, and mileage at the start of this brief road test is 69,732 miles. The reason we do the road tests is, as I say in all of them, is basically we're selling to customers now from all over Europe and the whole of the UK, such as the power of the internet, and we want customers to see our cars prior to coming to see us. That way I can let you know if there's any issues with the car on test drive. What I try and do with the videos is do them in much the same way as you do them yourself, and on the same country roads that you'll be road testing the vehicle on should you wish to buy the car. So starting with the engine of the vehicle, obviously 1.8 VTEC Honda engine, wonderful units. This one starts first turn of the key, very smooth, very quiet. It's been very well maintained, the car's in beautiful condition, but it just feels like it as well. There's no noises from it. They're incredibly durable units, taking sort of hundreds of thousand miles in their stride. Obviously being a Honda engine, as with virtually all of them now, they run timing chains, so there's no scheduled belt change on them, which is a real positive. But they have a reputation for reliability, unmatched by other manufacturers in this category. But the engine is perfect. There's no warning lights on the car. The only warning light showing, it's not warning lights, it's a low fuel light on the car, and that relates to the engine or anything else. The engine then runs through clutch into gearbox. Clutch of the car's lovely and smooth and silent in operation, bites absolutely perfectly, exactly the right bite point on the clutch as well. Very well engineered clutch system on the car, not just the actual clutch itself but the actuation. It's just very typical of Honda's attention to detail with their engineering. Engine then goes, clutch then goes through into this wonderful 6-speed gearbox. Lovely feeling of engineering and quality about it. It really has. It's the quality of the gear shifts, utterly fantastic. Even the feel of the gear lever in your hand is just so nice. It's sort of leather bound around the top here. But its actuation, quality of the synchromesh, absolutely superb. An absolute lesson to other manufacturers who simply can't get cable operated gearboxes right, because most of them feel a little bit vague and lifeless, devoid of feel, and can be a little bit notchy. This is just a beautifully done gear change, and I can't detect an ounce of wear in it. There's nothing. The engine, gearbox and clutch are all absolutely spot on. As I'm driving along, so make sure I don't hit the microphone wire with my arm. Car tracks absolutely bullet straight, not an ounce of vibration or tracking or tram lining rather with the steering. It steers absolutely beautifully, and again, no wear, nothing at all. Even the steering wheel in my hand hasn't got any wear. More of that later on. Suspension of the car, obviously new generation Civic, very smooth riding. Don't seem to have lost a lot of the dynamic appeal of the chassis, but they certainly have given it a much more controlled and supple ride at lower speeds. On top of which, incredibly quiet as well. The old one was quite a quiet car, but there's less suspension noise, less wind noise, less road noise, less engine noise, less everything. It's a very refined car. The reason I'm listening out for it as well, if there was a damaged door seal or someone damaged one on the way in, or poorly fitted windscreen, then you get kind of quite an annoying wind hiss on cars as quiet as this, but there's nothing. It's smooth and quiet as I'd expect it to be. Suspension also, when I'm going over bumps, I'm going to go over one now, a horrible one. Go ready for it. There you go. You can hear it going over bumps, which is absolutely normal, but what you're not going to, well, don't get any sensation of, is any sort of clunking or banging underneath, where you might have like a track rod end or a drop link or anti-roll bar link just chattering away underneath there. It all feels tight as a drum, and much as it was when it was new. I'm going to go up a really horrible little bit of road now, which has got loads of bumps and potholes, and I'm going to shut up, and then I'm going to hit the brake pedal quite hard, so bear with me. Yeah, that's absolutely spot on. Engine pulls sweetly through the rev range. Brakes are absolutely perfect. Solid pedal, really solid, right at the top of the pedal where you want it to be, and there's no pulsing, there's no vibration, nothing to the brake pedal, so it's absolutely spot on. Going to set the cruise control a second. It works absolutely perfectly, so that's fine. Coming to the interior of the car, brilliant dashboards. I love these things. It could be anything other than a Civic, and I think it's all the better for it. What this video doesn't really get across is just how beautifully made this car is. We've just received this vehicle. There's not a squeak or a rattle. It'll be given a valet. HUD doesn't really need anything, but it's just the quality of every control, not just your primary controls, your steering wheel and clutch and pedals, that kind of stuff, but also the little secondary controls they engineer and manufacture so beautifully. So every single switch you're going to press has got that fantastic quality field switch, which is designed to last for hundreds of thousands of miles, and it still operates in the same way. Obviously EX specs, was a big spec car. I'm just going to try the heated seats while I'm driving along, but you've got this lovely big sat-nav system, which hopefully you'll have seen on the preceding video, all working absolutely perfectly. Obviously pop it into reverse, and then it activates a really good quality rear parking camera as well. Very simple, easy to use, touch screen, just wonderfully simple in a complicated world that we live in these days. Dual zone climate control works absolutely perfectly. I've checked the air conditioning, pumps out lovely cold air as well, although it's chilly today, so I've got the heater on. Just every switch, the heated seats now kicking in nicely. I'll try on the high setting as well, but really, really good. Looking in front of me now, this brilliant two-tier dashboard, high up speedo readout, so I'm looking at the car in front, but at the corner of my eye, my peripheral vision, I can clearly see the speed I'm driving at. So I'm not taking my eyes off the road to take in some very basic and often required information. To the left of that, we've got an information display pad, which will give you things like average MPGs. Worth pointing out, actually, whoever had the car before, I'm not sure the mileage has been measured over, but the current average, which I'd imagine has been done over many thousands of miles, is actually 46.5 miles per gallon, and that's easily achievable. I've got customers with these cars getting 50. It is a truly astonishing engine. Then down below that, we've got a more conventional binnacle or series of pods. So in the middle there, rev counter with a little rev prompter as well. Fuel gauge, and on the left we've got the temperature gauge, which is running at a third, which is exactly what you want a Honda car to be running at, whether it be petrol, diesel or otherwise. That heated seat's getting lovely and hot now, in fact too hot, so I'm going to turn it off. Coming to the, obviously, auto lights, auto wipers, they all work perfectly. I put my wipers on auto because I want to check the wipers for smearing, because it's a bit of a pet hate of mine, but they're all absolutely spot on. Steering wheel, lovely thick rimmed leather bound steering wheel, just nicely proportioned. And then you've got you know, things that, you know, so multifunction facilities here, so information display stuff, cruise control on the right here, and hands-free functions down there. Every switch I've pressed has worked perfectly. It's a, you know, really lovely car. As I said, what's hard to get over really is just, you know, the feeling of solidity about the car that, you know, it's very hard to get from a lot of manufacturers. They've really taken this to another level. They're wonderful cars. Very keen to point out that, you know, on test drive, don't think for a second this is just a, you know, box ticking exercise and me and tell you it's all absolutely fine and dandy when there's something fundamentally wrong with the car. I simply don't. I drive these cars for a very good reason. That is, I don't want people thinking that our garage is selling cars that, you know, are not as we've described them to you, certainly mechanically. And if there's any issues, I will, and I do tell people. So on previous test drives, I have picked up on issues. The fact that we hunt these things up and down the country, we'll travel to the north of Scotland if necessary to buy a good car. You know, we turn away way more than we ever buy, you know, because it's got to be absolutely right for us. But the car genuinely drives absolutely beautifully. I simply cannot fault it. You know, they take the miles unbelievably well, so you've got to be very careful. If you see one which has, you know, got a patchy or a non-existent service history, it's worth walking away from it, because, you know, this could have done double the mileage and it would still look and feel much like it does. You know, so well built are they, but it does make those who are unscrupulous in the trade the temptation for them. But as a car, you know, really lovely car, fits beautifully, drives fantastically. It's got a level of build quality only really matched by or not really matched because they're not as durable, by, let's say, the Germans, but it's got reliability that only the Japanese can give you. So if you want a car that's going to start, run, and go on like that for many years and be an absolute pleasure to drive, because it is a really lovely car to drive. There's very few cars in this marketplace that drive with the sense of fun, dynamicism as this car does. It's really kind of gone under the radar of lots of people, and only now as a trade, and even the motoring magazines have suddenly realised actually it's a damn sight better than they ever gave it credit for. You know, they wanted to not like it, and that's kind of what they gave it kind of a lukewarm response. And it's a much better car in the real world, especially when you're paying for your own running costs. You know, when you're under manufacturer's warranty, different story. You know, the manufacturer pays for it, but, you know, it hits you hard in the pocket when things go wrong, and that's why these Hondas are hugely sought after now. But if there's anything I missed on the video, then please, you know, don't hesitate. Please give me a call, and I'll be more than happy to answer any questions you might have. But based on this test drive, you'll be driving, or coming to see rather, a really lovely example of a fantastic car.